Hello, hello.
Hello, Renata. I always cut off my head. I don't know how to do that. Hello. I should say ahoy, right? Is that the proper?
Yeah, that sounds very Czech, actually.
Oh, okay. Very good. And there's dobrý den, but I think that's like good morning.
Yeah, that's
That one's
perfect as
okay?
well.
Oh,
Yeah,
excellent. Guys, I
two
always
first
have to say
clauses
this.
you need.
Oh, perfect. I always have to tell them this is not a language intensive live. It is going to be in English, but it is kind of nice to hear the proper dialect, and whom better to have correct us on that than you, Renata. So thank you so much for joining us. This is exciting. You are our first resident director guest, so thank you for kicking off the series with us. And I have to tell you, we have done 2 Instagram lives now with our alumni ambassador team, and I'm so excited to meet you, Renata, because you are worshipped. You have a fan club behind you. I don't know if you know that, but check out those lives we did a couple weeks ago. You're very well liked, very well loved. So we're very happy to have you today. Awesome. So
thank you very much for inviting me.
Yes, it's our pleasure. Oh my goodness. So if you can tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and your role as a resident director. It's pretty obvious what a resident director does, but you guys with our staff go above and beyond. So if you can tell us a little bit about the intricacies of your role, that would be great.
Okay, so thank you very much again for inviting me for this live session. I'm really pleased and excited to talk about Prague program. I'm part of AIFS since 2014, and so maybe I have kind of enough insight to talk about this. I would like to talk on behalf of not only myself, but the rest of the team, because I have a lovely colleague, 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦, who I'm sure the students, if any of the former students, they would remember her, 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗓𝗧, who is currently on maternity leave. So we are a small team, but we work very closely, and this is also important for me, to be team to work with the students. My name is Renata 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦. So according to the name, you can guess that I'm native Czech and living in Prague most of my life, though I was born north of Prague in a little skiing area. So I love sports, obviously, skiing, skating, and we sometimes practice this with the students because they love to skate, and go to Prague sport activities. I've been the resident director and deputy resident director throughout the time with AIFS, and my background is dealing with the studying at the Faculty of Arts, not in Prague, but in another part of Czech Republic, in Moravia, another historical part of Czech Republic. So I hope that I have a kind of insight of most of the locations of the Czech Republic, and it might be, kind of beneficial when the students come and ask for various advice.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I love the work. We can spend here an hour only discussing that because I really love it. I love it for the reason that I can work with young students, young people. It's so inspiration for me. And I do believe that some of my life experience can also kind of contribute to their life, to the stay here. And as I said, I speak on behalf of the whole team, and we do really care about what kind of experience the students and memories the students bring back. Because the longer I do this job, I would say, or work, or I would say mission, my strong feeling is the strong responsibility we feel. Because I guess we either open the door to the world, to the students, or we shut it, because for most of them it's the first experience ever. They leave home, their city, their comfort zone, and I believe this is very important. I remember when I did something in 80s, I know it's like, last millennium, but still I did it.
It still
And
counts.
I remember, yeah, it's part of my life, so I remember that. And I know how important it was, you know. So I do believe that, or we try to do all our best to create kind of nice conditions and nice atmospheres throughout the semester for all of the students.
Yeah, well said. And I don't know if you can see the comments in here, Renata,
No.
but as I'm scrolling, there are so many hearts, heart eyes. We love
Well,
Renata. Like, it's already begun.
Okay,
Your
if I
fan
could say
club.
hello to all my former students,
Yeah.
we miss you here as well. Really,
Yes.
we do. And we're waiting for the moment when you'll be able to come back. So please do that.
We hope.
Finger crossed. Yeah.
Yeah, they are just, your fan club has arrived. They're all here, ready to cheer you on. You are, like I said, you're just very well loved, and it's
as I said, it's not my, it's only my contribution, but it's the work of the whole team for sure. It's
absolutely. Teamwork is the dream work. Love it. So we've gone over with our alumni ambassador team that have talked about Prague, that have studied in Prague, you know, what are their favorite things about the city, what do they miss the most when they return home. But you live there, you are a native, so can you tell us a little bit about why a student should choose Prague, or why you are pro Prague program? It's tough because you are, I'm sure, somewhat biased as a native. You want to be like prideful of where you're from, and all the right to do so. But yeah, tell us a little bit about what are some of the things that you want to see take away.
For most of the young people, Prague might be attractive for a couple of reasons. First of all, the location of Prague at the very heart center of Europe, which actually combine all that influence of all culture of the Central Europe. So definitely for the students who, you know, are in, I don't want to call it a major, or in interest of art, history, politics, music, culture, I would say that Prague is the right place to come. Because they can be inspired, they can walk through the city and actually not only learn the things in the classes, but they can see them around. And I think it brings their like theoretical education into the practice, and they know what they are talking about. So I think Prague can be very inspiring in this sense. Also, Prague is for people affordable city compared to London, let's say. The cost of living is reasonable here, and I think that if they plan their expenses in a kind of way, more thoughtful way, they can live, you know, on a limited budget throughout the semester and still enjoy the life here, going to the restaurants, visiting all kind of events, culture events, because there is a number of them going on throughout the semester or throughout the year. So another thing is that the city itself, I'm sure they Google it before they come, that it's a beautiful city. Most of the students say that they feel very easily connected with the city. Maybe it's also because the city is a kind of walkable city. At one hand, on the other hand, if you want to use the public transport, it's so convenient. It's really, it brings you wherever you wish to go. It has the metro, like tube, trams, buses. Everything is connected, and we within the program provide free transport pass for the whole semester. So this is something what is waiting here for the students. They just use it, and they don't have to be bothered, you know, how to work it out. It's all part of our orientation, but maybe we can talk about it later. So definitely location, costs of living, beauty of the city, and definitely this is the place where we can travel and visit all that European metropolis, which they probably wish to do. I know that they have a long list, it doesn't end, you know, and they tick off Rome, Paris, Budapest, and so on, so on. Absolutely. So I think that's also easy to, you know, to fly within 2.5 hours, you're everywhere.
Excellent. Yeah, very central, very affordable. We've heard about some of the amazing dishes you guys have. I don't know how many students have told me they're obsessed with goulash when they come home.
Yeah, definitely we should mention also that, let's say, coffee culture, because most of them, if they come, you know, there are tea rooms, but of course the famous cafes, not being only the coffee culture, also it's not linked to the coffee only, but it always been a meeting place, meeting point of the Czech bohema, politics, artists, people who were working, you know, in Samizdat underground and so on. So I think it's important, really, element, especially for Prague, where you can find, we have a booklet thick like that, full of cafes. So I think that even within semester, you can visit all of them.
Oh gosh,
they
I'm sure you
range
have.
from, yeah, very traditional one to very kind of hipster, modern one. You can choose according to your taste and style.
Yeah, one for every person, and I'm sure when you meet these students, you have one in mind for everybody, for all the different personalities.
This is also part of our culture, you know, activities we do. So we pick up the most traditional ones because we show that they find the modern ones on their own, but we take them there and have a kind of discussion sessions. You know, this is the way how to meet the students. We can, in this atmosphere of very kind of relaxed, informal, we can talk about, you know, their issues they have. And I think it's nice to always have a good coffee and cake.
Absolutely. You don't have to be a coffee drinker to enjoy the coffee shop ambiance, though it will most likely happen if you're in Prague. Very awesome. So we talked a little bit about academics. Can you tell us a little bit about the various programs that are offered through Charles University within Prague? What one might be more challenging, less challenging, if you have an opinion on that, all of those academic variables.
Well, as I said, these are all the benefits for Prague. Of course, Prague in Czech Republic speaks Czech, which is not the easiest language. But I want to mention that Czech is not one of the preconditions you would have to master prior coming to study here. So there's no request for previous Czech knowledge. Though each of the program I'm going to talk about starts with either intense Czech pre-semester Czech language course or at least the Czech survival course. So you don't have to be worried that you need to, you know, master any Czech before coming here. Though we encourage students to really make a use of this Czech courses because it again it's one element which opens the heart of the Czech local people if the students try at least some basic Czech, you know, to use. We AIFS are linked to two universities. One is the traditional famous Charles University. I believe most of the students heard about this university. You know, medieval university, very traditional. All that classes are taught in historical buildings, so you feel really like being part of medieval time in a way. But on the other hand, they are very modern equipped. The professors, you know, are recruited either from the Czech staff or also like not only American but foreign professors. That the way of teaching is kind of bridging between the Czech traditional way of academic lectures at the same time as you know, more in the sphere of the American way of teaching. But definitely this is, as you mentioned, the precondition for studying here. It's the student's GPA. GPA for Charles University, which we work with, it's 3. For University of Economics, it's 2.5. So, I mean, this is the first step. You have to check, you know, which university you would choose, not only according to your interest, but whether you meet the the requirements, academic requirements. This 3-point for Charles, it's not strictly done, but if you know, there are students who say, okay, we have a semester when I was ill or when I had any reasons, you know, not to meet this. They can always email us, and we check it with the Charles University specifically, like individually, and they can always decide, you know, whether they accept a student or not.
Okay.
So as I said, Charles University is one university we work with. ECS is the international department there, with which was founded within the Faculty of Arts, and in 1992, I guess. So we have a long cooperation. We really are in a constant kind of touch with them. Cooperation between AIFS and Charles University is very kind of straightforward, very tight, and very well working. So very pleased to have the colleagues there, which they can always help us. This is for Charles University. It's not campus size, let's say, organized kind of lessons, because as I said, it's not only one building where the students take the classes. They are spread around the city. The same applies for the place where they live at the dorm. Another university is completely different, I would say. It's a modern building, University of Economics, which was also ranked in the top, universities with of economics within the Central Europe. So their reputation is very high as well, and it's here in Prague since 50s. It's modern building. All classes are taught in one building, though again the dorms, you know, are separated. What else? Kind of classes, I mean, the students can read, you know, read what kind of classes they can take, but I have just kind of list, so I can mention some of them.
Yeah, you can mention a few, that'd be fine.
Yeah. So let's say for the Charles University, among the most popular are art and culture and film classes, edges of photography, alternative culture, the story of Prague, 10 centuries of architecture heritage, sociology class, soft skills, very popular class, sociology of food. I mean, there are so many of them, you know, history, language, economics, literature, and so on.
We always say to our students, you know, it's a good time to get elective or those general ed courses out of the way, because they're all going to be centralized to Prague, Czech culture. Yeah, absolutely.
And another thing is that if you decide to study at the University of Economics, it doesn't mean that you have to study only the management, but there are also history classes, politics, classes on politics, on literature, language. So it's also the quite wide range of variety. The way how they get enrolled in the classes differs for the Charles and University of Economics, but maybe we're going into so small details that
no, that's okay. That's excellent.
Or if they're interested, it's like for the University of Economics, they fill in the list prior to the semester, and then they are approved and they are enrolled in this course, which they, you know, applied for. With the Charles University, it goes a bit differently. The Charles University always get in touch with the students prior to the semester, and they are organizing the whole enrollment into the class, starting with the registration at the website, then announcing the day when they can start signing up for the classes. And the system is based on first come, first served, actually. So we always encourage the students with the emails from our side, please take care, you know, be ready, be registered at the website, because sooner you apply and sign up for the class, you have a better chance to be, you know, enrolled.
Right.
For this reason, because we can't guarantee, Charles University doesn't guarantee that you be enrolled in the classes you desire to do. Therefore, for this reason, we always encourage students to have a kind of second plan,
like a backup
plan, and all the courses, you know, more courses have approved by the home university advisors or study abroad advisors, just to be ready, you know, to apply or to sign up for different ones.
Excellent. And there's so many courses to choose from. It's very easy to find a backup or several backups.
Yeah, I'm sure that that's not limited.
Excellent. Thank you, Renata. So I have a question for you, because you did say, you know, Czech it's not an easy language, but they give you this 2-week crash course. Do you see, like, as a RD, do you see a lot of students, they'll continue the language and you see the improvement by the end of the semester for sure?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sometimes amazed, and I'm sometimes just blame them that they didn't tell me that they studied Czech before.
Right.
I'm really impressed when I look at the test they have to pass. I think it's not that easy, and they're doing such a great job, because there are over students who have maybe just Central Europe roots, that, let's say, they have a like second language, maybe Slovak, Czech, you know. We even have a limited number of students who come and can speak some language. But we also have number of students who came with 0 Czech knowledge, and they were leaving and they were really communicating in Czech, which for me, it's like, I've been studying English, you know, for years, and still you can hear that it's not perfect, and they are leaving, you know, with such a great Czech knowledge. And I would say that most of them would agree with me. I hope the fan club there,
the fan club.
that we agree that we encourage them to use the Czech, because more they use the basic phrases, and they do not always have, you know, the smartphone and Google Translator with them. So I think that the basic phrases to learn by heart, it always helps them, you know, to maybe work out and find out solution in when they get lost, you know, in Prague, whatever.
Absolutely.
So I would say, yeah, Czech is not easy, but once you learn the basic, it's like the language you pick up more very easily. Vice versa, I think, with English. You start with it looks like very simple, but more you go deeper in the English, into the language, it's more complicated. Czech, it's vice versa. It's like, you know, too much at the beginning, but then you understand the structure and you can communicate, which
Excellent.
I think it helps.
Yep, we're getting a lot of comments that say we agree in terms of the difficulty.
Yeah, I can
degree of language. Absolutely. So it seems it's hard too, because here in the US you're not going to encounter a Czech speaker on the regular like you would someone Spanish or French. So the more they practice that, the sooner they can get back out there and use it in their travels. Very good. So we talked about,
I speak Czech to them. So.
Oh yeah, and guys, reach out to Renata. She would love to talk to you. Practice your Czech. She's always a resource forever. A friend and a resource. There you go. So we've talked about academics. Can you tell us a little bit about, are there any volunteer opportunities in Prague, whether that's set up by you, the resident director staff and your staff, or either of the universities? Do they have any opportunities to kind of be an integral part of the community in that way?
Yeah, when I started to work for AIFS, I think I focused on this volunteering options, because obviously I was the only Czech, native Czech within the team, though Jenny Peña, my lovely colleague, she's Philippine Canadian, but she speaks really fluent Czech now. You would not say that she's not Czech. She's really amazing. And but I brought the contacts probably I had through, you know, all kind of different jobs I did. I always tell my students that this is probably the 7th or 6th job I did in my life, working in catering, in event management, working for Daily Telegraph correspondent who was sent during the revolution to Prague. So
you have worn many hats, Renata. You're well-rounded.
Yes. And this is why I'm saying that I always encourage them that they never know when this particular skill will fit within the career, the future career. So therefore, I think I know quite a few people in Prague, and this allowed me to, you know, kind of create a network of volunteering, which we started to use and been using. Though the volunteering is limited, the language, of course, is the limit, right? Because some volunteering job you need to speak at least basic Czech, but nevertheless, we have a very good connection with sending students to work as a English teacher assistant to the regular primary schools. If they love kids, they can work with the kids, let's say 6 to 7, 8 years old. With Veronica, she is fabulous teacher. She always involved them in all that, you know, classes, and most of the students, we always have number of students participating in that. Another kind of group of offer is working with the kids or teenagers from special schools with special needs, which I find sometimes maybe not that easy. If you maybe back in US, I do not have this experience myself, but I bet that it's not always easy to, you know, to work with the kids from the special needs of school with special needs, like physically handicapped, or we have a school with eye impaired kids, and we still can, you know, send our students there. They are either assist them during the cooking classes, during the mentoring them, or doing the English tutors for them, or really participating in traditional English classes. So I love that. And last 3-4 years, we've been very intensively in touch with the parents' shelter. It's the shelter for social, like weak, split families, you know, families and social needs. And they have the kids, it's like big, let's say, institution that site at the edge of Prague, where the kids stay with the families for half a year before they sort out their life. And obviously these parents, they do not have enough money to pay them any classes like sport and so on. So I bring over students there. I love to do that. We, for instance, do Easter bunny, you know, traditional Easter bunny event for them, or we do the Halloween with them, and they love songs for us and draw the pictures and so on. So it's very nice. Like, I think the very enriching experience for both sides. The kids love our students, and at the same time, students can, you know, meet the local people. Most of the also the people from kind of minority, let's say, of the Czech population, because the Sinti Roma are the majority of the clients of this parents' shelter. So I think also in this way we can, you know, kind of open the discussion about the minority in the Czech Republic, their kind of acceptance by the minority population and so on. So I think it's also
all good
interesting
things
just to talk about.
Very amazing. Great resources, and hopefully these students come back and after having done a volunteer program, they themselves want to continue to be those little servants on this end too. It really gets you to see a community in a sense of not just the gold buildings and the coffee shops, but like what are those little marginalized communities that we can serve, and how do our gifts that we're bringing as US students, how can that help a community abroad? So that's really beautiful. Great stuff. See, Renata's very well connected. She knows where all of the help is needed and where we can provide that. And I just want to scroll back a second, Renata. Probably Kat says, working with the school children was one of the best parts. The children are so sweet and cute. Yes. So there you have it, guys. They're not just rambunctious with lots of energy. They're sweet and cute as well. There you have it. Very good. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you for, if anyone, because I'm sure that some of the students who are listening to us now, again, I want to thank them for their time and energy, you know, just contributed to this quiz, because they really literally love it.
Yes, yeah. The students make the program, but so does the staff, Renata. So keep patting yourself on the back as well. So we talked a little bit about housing. I know we've talked about this with our alumni ambassadors, but if you can tell us a little bit about the housing that is offered through the program, comfortability, all of that, location to the campus, commute, all that good stuff.
Okay, I mean, housing, we provide, we in Prague, like Prague program provides only one kind of housing, and this is the housing in the student residence, student dormitory. We're using the dormitory which are connected to the 𝗟𝗧𝗦 University. We use this dormitory for both programs, so both the students from 𝗟𝗧𝗦 University and students from University of Economics of our program will be, you know, accommodated in the same place. It's not only these two groups, but there are other international students, so they always have a kind of choice whether they want to share the room with another international student or with the students of ECS, you know, the 𝗟𝗧𝗦 University program, all kind of combinations. I want to point out that the students should realize that all universities we work with are the state universities. So also the accommodation, it's like state dormitory. I must say that the one which we use particularly now, it's located in a beautiful area close to the Prague Castle area. It's located within the easy reach of restaurant, bistros, all that facility, local shops and so on. It's like 1 minute from the tram, or 10 minutes from the Prague Castle tram, which brings them down to both universities, either the 𝗟𝗧 or the University of Economics. So I would say this location is very nice. The dorm itself been reconstructed, so most of the rooms are now reconstructed, and the whole there is a big cafeteria where the students can have their breakfast, which I think it's very convenient. In the morning before you go to school, they can have the breakfast there. It's served like you know, the European style breakfast, which students usually like and very quickly adopt to this. When I'm talking about the meal, we as a program, we provide the meal option. The fee includes either the meal option, or they can also opt out to not you know, kind of use this meal option plan. It differs like about $1,000 US if you opt out this opportunity for the meal card. How we do it, we have a kind of surface card, you know, where we upload the money and they can spend it on meals wherever they wish to. So it's quite convenient to have a kind of backup, you know, financially. A dorm has its own music room. They have of course, vending machines, ground floor. They have the laundry machines there. So it's nicely equipped, and it's not that big, but big enough, you know, to meet other students. For that spring semester student, the 𝗟𝗧𝗦 University, due to the COVID situation, obviously, you know, we all aware, and it's affecting, you know, all sides of like globally. They decided that each student coming for the spring will have the room on its own, so they will not be accommodated in double rooms, but only in single rooms, which I think it's great, you know, move and thought. And without paying extra money for it. So it's always like single room with no additional costs. this is one of the things, you know, which we could mention due to the COVID. There are also extra rooms within the dorm where, in case the students have to be quarantined, they would be moved to this separate part of the dorm to stay there for that quarantine, but still hopefully in the same in the same dorm.
Very good. This may be the first time in a student's life where they will have a dormitory room to themselves without paying additional guys. So keep that in mind.
Standard is like you have a single room and double room, and this share the little kitchenette and the bathroom.
Sure, bathroom.
At the same anyone can come, and the students use it, you know, for experimental cooking or cooking the authentic, you know, traditional,
the goulash,
the salad, goulash, and so on. They usually go to restaurant for goulash, but
they'll try to make it on their own. It won't be as good, and then they'll just say, let's just go out.
It's not that. It's not that difficult. I'm sure that they manage.
Yes, well, you are the expert in that, so we'll leave that one up to you. Very cool.
About goulash, we always organize, you know, if the situation allows that, we traditionally organize the like cooking event or cooking classes. So with the fall semester, we make the traditional Christmas cookies. We rent out a professional catering place where we bring them and we make tons of Christmas cookies. So we just sit there and it's kind of all farewell, let's say. For the spring, no Christmas cookies, obviously, but then I'm sure that they would remember the bramborak, the potato pancake, and sweet dumplings stuffed with some strawberries are their favorite. So this is another, you know, dish we do with them, or the strudel, famous strudel, everything has to taste, and so on, so on.
I always say if we leave these Instagram lives hungry, somebody has done something right. So we're getting there. Awesome. And just have to give a shout out to you, Renata. You know, spring 2020, very in ideal conditions with COVID, but you were such an instrumental part in getting home that entire semester students safely and whatnot. So we thank you for just being so cooperative, so helpful, and again, just instrumental in getting everyone home safely, which we did. So yay, one silver lining of this mess, which we call COVID. So we talked a little bit about some of the cultural opportunities for students, the cooking classes, the things you guys will get to do together. But in terms of activities within the city, maybe activities that you guys do as a group, can you tell us a little bit about some of those, and which one is your favorite? Which one do you look forward to the most?
We definitely work on a culture calendar prior the student comes, and we rather have to stop ourselves for filling it up, because otherwise it's too full and too overwhelming. But it's definitely what I think, being the local, I always encourage students to go to at least one opera, one ballet once they are in Prague, because if Prague is linked with coffee culture, definitely, you know, traditional performances on ballet, opera, like Mozart, and it is a must, I would say. So
it's a staple. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to say that all the culture events we plan for the students are included in that program fee, so they do not pay anything extra on the spot. We always announce it through that newsletters, which we issue every week at the beginning on Monday. So they are informed, the culture calendar, they see prior or at the beginning of the semester, so they can, if they really, you know, like something in particular, they can still already put a note in their diary. It's not only the culture events, like I take them to jazz, you know, to classical concert, as I said, ballet, operas. Definitely we do number of sport events, like Jenny My colleague, she's into the bouldering. So we have always a group of students. We take them for bouldering, organize that sport afternoons. There are so many facilities, you know, in Prague. Around the whole Prague, you can pick up so many gyms if the students want to do it on their own. In winter, we go skating, as I said. We always have a nice picture of skating, you know, next to the Charles University. That's actually a very nice rink there. So, I mean, the options, it's unlimited. We accept what I mentioned, that visiting the cafe outing, you know, number of walks in Prague, because I'm sure that all the students who went through the Czech Prague program, they remember 𝗟𝗘𝗧, our colleague. 𝗟𝗘𝗧 walk, it's like phenomenal. He's waiting for the students to come. He's in his 80s, but he has the energy that I can hardly catch up with, you know. He always brings the students walk around the city. He knows 100 stories from the history, architecture, painting, whatever you can think about, not only Czech Republic, but all over the Europe. So he's a great, you know, member of our team.
Wealth of knowledge. He's a human library, a human encyclopedia.
He's walking like Wikipedia, right? That's true. But you know, nice, because he can always link it with the history of US, which is really great. So I would say that we have a kind of a list of activities we normally do, but I want to point out that each group is different, each semester is different, the mentality or the interest of the group. So how we do it, we call it like Wednesday, Pizza Wednesday, when we meet at the beginning of each month, and we present the students what we'd like to do, because some of the events, of course, are not planned in advance. They just planned accordingly, like as they are offered. So we double check with them whether the group of students, it's more in sports, then we do more visits of the ice hockey match or soccer match, because these are very popular not only in US but also in Czech Republic. Of course, ice hockey, it's number one you know, winter sport. The soccer is also very popular here. So, I mean, we can always moderate it, you know, it's not set and we just take it off. We do it really according to the interest, or try to do it according to the interest of the students. So we stress out communication is the kind of base of going through the semester, because if we know about their interests, if we know about their problems, we can deal with that. If we don't know, it's very hard for us, you know, just judge, because we can't see inside of their heads.
Yeah, you try to tailor all the needs and all of the things that students want to see versus, you know, just picking what you think they might like. So that's really awesome. Real quick, Renata, so we talked about cultural events, excursions. I keep hearing this excursion to Moravia. That seems to be the most popular. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the excursions that you take the students on?
I mean, in addition to this culture events, we do like every week, and they vary as I mentioned it, but we also, within the program, there is one, as you mentioned, favorite trip, and this is Moravian trip to Moravia included into the program fee. Why Moravia? Because we always try to tell them that Prague doesn't equal to Czech Republic. There are also places where the student would not go on their own, because they are not as easy to reach. There are small germs of, you know, architectural point of view or history where it's more difficult to get to. So we have a private coach for all our either included or optional excursions. So Moravia is the starting point. This is our kind of bonding trip where we get students from both universities, like all our students go together, all staff, member of the staff participate in this trip. So this is like our kind of family trip, let's say, to kick off, you know, the semester. I'm sure that the students will say, yeah, I forced them to sing the Moravian song, and we sing it in front of the wine cellar before we enter it for the owner. Mr. 𝗟𝗧𝗦 probably heard it like 100 times, but he's always happy to hear it. And some of them are very good because we practice it on the coach. And once we arrive to the wine cellar, which the students are provided the lovely dinner, the best food, they always say that this is the best food because it's homemade by the wife of the owner of the wine cellar. So this is all the great memory, not only for me, but I also hope for the students.
Yes, I've heard from all of them. They all rant and rave about Moravia. I put it on my list of places I'd like to go someday. So you guys are doing something right. Excellent. So we are gonna. In addition to that, probably we should also mention other optional trips.
Yeah, wherever we go to. Like we now offering usually Krakow, Vienna for Christmas markets, Krakow combined with the Holocaust, visiting the Auschwitz. Then we decided to do more like local trips, like hiking trips, because the Czech Republic is really full of beautiful mountains. And again, it's maybe more difficult for the students to, go and hike somewhere if they have to find the accommodation, everything themselves. So this is like a 2-day hiking trip in Czech Switzerland, where the Narnia was shot, very beautiful area, not far away from Prague. And then there is another trip, also the local trip. We decided that we will visit the famous spa, Czech spa, not only Carlsbad, but also spas which are connected to, to the location, not far away. So that will be 2 themed like local trips, which we're planning in addition to Vienna, Krakow, and Budapest, of course.
Excellent. You have a nice roundabout list. Absolutely. And again, Prague is so central, Czech is so central that it's easy to get to all of those other places, which I'm sure students take advantage of. Awesome. I'm just going to scroll back, Renata. I saw some questions pop in, and I missed some comments when students were chiming into some of the things you said about the songs. And let me see. Probably Kat said, you did the most wonderful job being so supportive throughout our time. Here we go. This is Queen Renata. There's another comment. They're calling you a queen, Renata. There you go. Awesome. Let me
probably see. Dancing queen.
Oh, the dancing queen. I'm sure there's a story there. Do you just like to dance quite a bit? Is that the...
Well, because dancing is part of the Moravia.
There you go.
Moravian trip.
Yes. And you've had lots of practice semester after semester. Very good. M. Williams, one of our alumni ambassadors, we just had her last week. I would do anything to be in a Prague cafe right now. Lauren says, yes, Emma. Excellent. Professors are amazing at Charles U. Very good. ML Castles, Mora says, I heard great things about all of the courses from our students, but especially psychology and photography. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those 2 courses, Renata?
Yeah, I mean, they are, I think I mentioned them among the courses which I named because they are one of the favorite the photography course, which combines, the practical side, but also the professor brings them into the streets, because most of the courses are planned not only for the class base, but they do a lot of field trip. They bring, the students to the streets, to the museums, to the places and activities which are linked to that course. So therefore I mentioned, if you pick up, any history, literature, it's not only, sitting in the class listening to the theory, but the professors definitely bring the students to the streets and to the field trips which are connected to the subject.
Allow them to have that experiential learning. Very good. Excellent. Jessica Allure 12 says, Renata and the rest of the AIFS clan in Prague is amazing. Lots of
Oh,
praise,
thank you.
Renata. Probably Cat says, I have to go do homework, but I'm sending all my love to AIFS staff in Czech Republic. I miss you all every day. So grateful for my time there. Stay healthy and safe.
Thank you.
So many fans, Renata. Excellent. Someone says, the commute on the tram 22 was easy. So much beauty to be seen on the way walking to class.
Yeah, this is what I want. We also encourage them because, I mean, tube is fast, but once you get on the tram, and especially the 22, which they mentioned, it goes from the dorm down to class. It takes like 7 minutes probably, and then you cross the bridge, cross the river, nice walk. We also have the students who literally walked every day to the class because they I will say, don't pay for the gym, walk around the Prague, walk all the staircase, and you'll be much more fit than the gym.
Because all that goulash is going to add up at some point. Yes.
Yeah, not only goulash, but also the knettles and dumplings and fat meat and cabbage. I mean, it's very heavy, like traditional Czech cuisine is rather heavy, but definitely the students can find restaurants and cuisine, all ethnic you can think about. It's Prague is full of Vietnamese food. The reason is, maybe this is interesting, the Vietnamese community, it's the second large community in Prague, in Czech Republic in general. There were very strong ties, connections throughout the communist era, where you know, all the communist countries kind of had a very close relations, and there were many Vietnamese studying at the universities, coming to Prague to study. They stay here, they invited the families, and after the 90s, after the revolution, the Velvet Revolution, the community really extended. They were those ones who, you know, had all that mini market set up around the whole city. So whenever you are really hungry, you go to these Vietnamese mini markets, and they are always there because they work constantly, you know.
Excellent. That's very cool.
So,
there's our fun fact, guys.
This is quite interesting, you know, like Thai cuisine, many vegan restaurants, many vegetarian restaurants, though they are rather split. They are, you would not go to the traditional Czech restaurant, you would have a limited number of vegetarian dishes there, but at the same time, if you really into vegan or vegetarian or gluten-free diet, you have a specialized restaurants all over the place wherever you go. So it's a big choice. Mediterranean cuisine is very popular. Italian, I mean, whatever you think about.
The melting pot.
You can eat from the morning till the evening.
You could eat 6 meals a day. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, that is all the questions we have, but we have a little bit of time, Renata, so I'm going to throw at you what we call a lightning round. We do this with our students, so I'm just going to give you a word, and you think of the first thing that's associated with that word. So we'll kick it off with food. Oh,
food. Czech food, very heavy but tasty.
Heavy but tasty, love it. Transportation.
Easy and cheap, and available, and accessible.
Very
perfect.
Good. Very good. Perfect. Locals. You are a local, so this is an interesting take on this.
I mean, I would say that maybe locals are not at the first sight that much open and, like, you know, over friendly,
right?
But they need more time. But once you start communicating with them, they open the hearts, and you will be part of them forever.
Oh, I love that. Landmarks. Your favorite landmark?
Favorite landmark? Well, that's so many. Hard to say. I can't pick up one.
It's okay. The whole city. You could just say the whole city.
Yes, it could be the whole city. But I have one. There's one monument. It's called Monument of Communism.
Okay.
Victims of Communism. And it's incredible monument, which is sloping up the famous 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦 hill with the kind of tower, you know, view tower. Everyone knows that. Yes. But this is a kind of hidden monument underneath of this hill, and it shows the figure of the human being on the staircase, and higher you go, the figure disappears, which means the deteriorating, the atmosphere of the communists, the power, the kind of devastation which definitely the communist regime did to the people. And this is very impressive, very kind of, whenever I look and I go by very often, it just catch me,
It is like a metaphor, but it's also a statue. Very beautiful. And then we only have 2 minutes left. The timer just came on here. But if you can tell me something, students are constantly learning from you. So what is probably the biggest lesson that you have taken away as an RD from the students? Flip the script.
Okay. That they are very open to share their life stories. They bring different angle to the traditional, maybe traditional way how I see the things, and this is all inspiring. So for me, it's a big inspiration, reverse, because I don't think that I give them that much, but on reverse, I gain a lot from them.
That's so beautiful. Oh, I'm gonna get teary-eyed during these lives. All right, awesome. Renata, thank you so much. It's a pleasure finally getting to meet the famous woman of the fan club. You are so well loved.
Maike and Jenny and Z.
And Jenny and Z. Hopefully we'll get to meet them at some point. Guys, just a few announcements. I have 40 seconds. Just try to get them all out real quick. If you have any questions for Renata that we missed, you can watch this live at any given time. It will live there. So link in the bio if you have any questions. All of our contact information on the handle. Don't forget, spring 2021 deadline is November 15th. Applications for scholarships November 1st. So get those in. Last day today for free round-trip airfare, and I think I covered all of it. So Renata, thank you again. Pleasure having you, and we will hopefully see you very soon. Yes. Ahoy.
Thank you.
Bye, Renata.
Bye-bye. Nashledanou.